In the name of the Father, Son, and Spirit, one God, Amen. Good morning, everyone. I wish you a blessed day, and I wish you that we have, when we gather together around the table of the Lord, around the Eucharist, that each of us will have a transformation and hope. The message today is about a story which I think all of us knows very well. Christ was in a house as he is with us today. And when he is in a house, he's doing three things. He's teaching and healing and giving mission to people. Christ in the house, the church, this is his three main works. He is teaching that people have the right directions and the right way of thinking. And he is healing those who are sick physically, spiritually, and even psychologically. The third work of Jesus is he's sending people to proclaim the good news to everyone. And this is the true church. But even in the middle of the story, when we see Christ in the house, people were around and gathered, and 4 men were carrying a man who was paralyzed. And the house was full. But the 4 men, the 4 faithful men, whom we don't know their names, their backgrounds, and even we don't know anything about them later on. They challenged everything, and they climbed the house, risking their own safety, and have a creative idea that how can we put this man before Christ? So they took the roof of the house, have 4 robes, and a small, I think, piece of wood, and put the man and lay him before Christ. And while they were doing this, there was other people in the same place, just standing and watching. And others are standing and criticizing. Who can forgive sins? Who can do so and so? And I believe the church is carrying those 6 categories of people. The first, people who need help and healing. Second, people who need teaching. The third, people who need to be sent to serve the Lord. And the fourth, people who are standing observers without anything. And the fifth, people who are standing, criticizing, and also doing what? Nothing. And I'm asking myself, forget about Amabuna, and I'm asking each of you guys here, in which category you can put yourself in the church? Are you someone come to church seeking teaching that your mind may be transformed and then your life will be transformed? Or am I in the church seeking forgiveness and healing from inside? I have lots of issues and I need the touch of God to heal me. Or I am here as a servant, I need, send me where you want me to go. Or I am here only observer, coming and go. Or I am in the last category, I'm here only to criticize others and judge others as well. Where are we from those 5 categories? Let me say something about each one of them. The first, people who are coming to learn. When you come to learn from Christ, don't think it is only information. It is also experience. When the Holy Spirit is engraving something in your heart today, through anything, through the readings, through taking communion, through meeting someone, please take whatever God has given you and give it a thought. Sit by yourself, evaluate, put this in your heart and pray, Lord, give me this. I am desiring to be in such a way with you. My dear brothers and sisters, coming and going and getting something from Christ without sitting with God and praying, it will be against you at the last day. It will be against me, because I heard And I got the message, but I did not respond. If you are here as a disciple, blessed are you. But the true discipleship is not in the church only. True discipleship when you go and sit under the feet of Christ in your room. When you open your heart, tell him, Lord, I want to be with you. Second people, those who need healing. And whoever here in the church believe that he is above healing, I think he is in the wrong place. The church is a big hospital. A big hospital. All of us are sick. And all of us are coming here to meet one person, Christ, the true doctor. I've been thinking about this for long. The difference between a church and a social club. Some people in the church come at a social club only. I'm coming to meet friends. I'm coming to socialize. Let me tell you something. You are coming to see people who are sick like you. You will never receive healing. You need to meet Christ first, then the others through Christ. Except you're going to meet people who can take you to Christ, like those 4 men who carried the man before Christ. I read something about those people. I read those people are really in charge of love, healing. Are you coming to church to forgive you, to be forgiven? Are you coming seeking the gift of the Holy Spirit to lead you? Or you are coming only for something else? Christ said, I came to call the sick and the sinners, not the righteous people, not the good people. عشان كده please, I wish that all of us today say, Lord, I am sick, heal me. I am sick, heal me. I take communion today. This is the life-giving body. Salvation, forgiveness, and remission of sins. It is a real body, a real blood. But if I take the body and the blood, and my life is not changed, that there is something wrong here. There is something wrong. I have to stop. And I have to be accustomed to come to church, and my sickness remain the same. The third people who are coming to serve, send me wherever you go. My dear brothers and sisters, this man, he cannot stand because he had 2 paralyzed legs. But God sent him 8 legs. He sent him 8 legs to carry him. And this is the mission of the church. The church is not static body. The church is a dynamic living body. The church is going outside to bring people to Christ, not to ourselves only. This is our role. For those who are in the church for long, and they don't understand that they will not remain receivers, they should also turn into be what? Givers. Till when we will remain receiving without giving? You know, this is like what? Like the Dead Sea. Why the Dead Sea called Dead Sea? Because it has an entrance, but there's no exit. When the water comes to the Dead Sea, there's no exit. So there is no life in this sea. They call it the Dead Sea. We are together in the church not to remain together. No, we are together in the church to bring others to come and enjoy the blessed of Christ. A growth of the church doesn't mean quantity. It means also quality and quantity. A growth church means that we are working, living body, caring for one another to bring one another near Christ. The fourth people, the observers, and they are many. As if we are coming to watch a live show in the church. I'm watching the screen. I'm watching the deacons. I'm watching Abuna. And I'm starting, this man, I know him. Who brought him? I know this girl, why she is and she is here. And why the deacons are not. He is gifted in criticizing. And if I ask him, are you willing to do something? Tell me, no, Abuna, I'm just showing you there is something wrong. I'm sorry. If you are only to give us problems without being involved in some of the problems, you are not an active member. You're not. If you see the church is not clean and you are going across the church and there are some papers out on the floor, I don't bow down and give them, you are not a member. You are not an active member. If after the church you see the chairs are not organized and you just said, I want to leave my house organized, and you do it, this is an active work. But to come and just observe without giving anything, this is like, I call it a dead member in the church. The other people who are not observing, criticizing, but also judging others. Oh my God. We sit together just to judge one another. The man was, imagine, Christ healed the man. He healed him. But he said, who can forgive the sins? Come on. Instead of being rejoice, instead of praising God, instead of going and said, Lord, do this with me. He is paralyzed physically. I am paralyzed spiritually. I'm just standing and criticizing. The Pharisees were so loved by Christ, but the same Pharisees, Christ was so harsh on them. You know why? Because he sent very, very many indirect messages. And then he told them at the end, woe to you. Here you go. If you just stand watching and criticizing and judging, I'm going to judge you as well. These are the 5 categories in the church. And I hope today, if you feel that you are in one of them, just do something. If you need to be healed, just come to Christ. Sit with someone. If you really here to learn and to have a spiritual knowledge, God bless you, seek it. If you are here to serve and may God give you a mission to do, ask, what can I do? Many people come to Abuna Gerges and to me, Abuna, I want to do something. We send them. We send them. But just don't come and observe, please. Don't come and watch. You know, the liturgy was good today. Oh, the liturgy was short. Or the liturgy was long. Or the sermon was wrong. Good luck. As you came, as you will go, with no change. And the last people who are criticizing without even participating. Even criticizing Christ himself. You know, we always, if Christ comes to church now, I think many people will criticize him. Many people will say, how come he is so humble? How come he is cleaning? How come he is doing the little things? This is Christ. And this is true Christ. May God give us today a blessed week, starting to think and start to fit where are we now and how can we be more beneficial and more active the church. Many paralyzed people around us. Many. And this man was lucky he had 4 people to carry him. The last thing, and this is maybe a very important, if you want to start to carry people to the church, first carry them in your heart when you pray for them. If you really love someone, here is the sign that you love him. You are praying for him. If you really care about someone, here is something you should do. Carry him before Christ and pray for him. And if your heart is full of love, you are ready to serve the Lord in every capacity. Glory be to God forever and ever.